You don't need months or years of meditation. What you truly need is to master these 17 seconds. If you're not getting what you want, it's simply because you haven't applied this law correctly. In the next few minutes, I'm going to hand you the key. But think with me for a moment. How many times have you desired something with all your heart, prayed, visualized, and asked the universe for it, only to feel like nothing was happening? How many nights have you laid in bed, dreaming of the life you wish you had, just to wake up the next day with that same hollow feeling? It's as if there's an invisible barrier between you and your deepest desires, isn't it? What if I told you that this barrier isn't external, but internal? That all the time you spend trying to convince the universe is wasted if you don't know how to ignite the right spark? That's precisely what these 17 seconds are. About the ignition point, the flame that sets the entire mechanism of creation into motion. Joseph Murphy often spoke about the power of the images you hold in your mind. He taught that the subconscious doesn't respond to long speeches, but to vivid impressions charged with emotion. When you hold a single thought for at least 17 seconds with intensity, feeling, and clarity, you are no longer just thinking, you are transmitting. In that moment, your mind ceases to be a mere container of ideas and becomes a vibrational broadcaster, emitting a signal so powerful the universe cannot ignore it. Now ask yourself, how often can you truly sustain a pure thought of desire without doubt, fear, or disbelief creeping in? Perhaps that's the root of your frustration. Because you see, this isn't about thinking a quick thought and letting it go, or mechanically repeating an affirmation. It's about entering a state of profound communion with the vision you desire, as if it were already your reality, and keeping that energy alive for those precious few seconds. Is it simple? Yes, but it isn't easy. Our minds have been trained to wander, to question, to doubt, and that's the exact moment where many people lose the thread of manifestation. But what if I could show you how to use this short, powerful window of time to break through that invisible barrier? What if, starting today, you could put this secret into practice and begin to feel the first shifts happening almost immediately? This is no exaggeration. Studies on brain frequencies show that within seconds of intense concentration, the body responds. Heart rate changes, breathing adjusts, and the energetic field expands. You literally become someone else. And what happens when you change? Everything around you changes with you. And here's something you may have never heard before. The universe doesn't need days or months. It needs a clear, pure, and consistent signal. And 17 seconds is enough to send that initial signal, like launching a coded message into the cosmos. If you can sustain that vibration, even for a short while, you plant the seed that will inevitably grow. The real question is, can you hold that focus? Can you keep your heart and mind aligned without being distracted by the echoes of lack or fear? Because that is the key that separates those who merely dream from those who experience miracles daily. And in the next few moments, you will understand exactly how to use these 17 seconds to your advantage. You'll discover why this small interval can redefine entire destinies and what you must do to seize the opportunity to use this law correctly. I need you to stay until the end because the final revelation I'm going to share with you is the most powerful of all, and it might just be the missing piece in your manifestation puzzle. Before we continue, I want to ask you for something simple, yet powerful. If this message has resonated with you in any way, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. This isn't just a mechanical gesture. It's a signal that you are ready to align with this knowledge and allow it to transform your life. And if you feel you need a deeper guide, something that goes beyond this video and shows you how to apply all of this in practice, the link in the first pinned comment will take you to a resource that can open your consciousness even further. Click on it as soon as we're done here, because it might be exactly what you've been looking for. Now, take a deep breath, because we are just getting started. What you are about to hear has the power to turn the key you've been searching for. The universe is ready to respond, and all it asks of you is 17 seconds. Have you ever noticed how the human mind struggles to be silent? Close your eyes for a few seconds and try to focus on just one thing, without distractions. It's like a crowd of voices erupts inside you, each one vying for your attention. Worries, memories, doubts, fears. It is precisely this internal noise that prevents so many from manifesting what they desire. But here's a secret. You don't need to silence every voice for manifestation to occur. You just need to learn how to choose one frequency and stay on it long enough for it to become dominant. And that's where the 17 seconds come in. Imagine your mind is like a satellite dish. It's constantly emitting signals, even when you're not aware of it. What you think, feel, and imagine transforms into vibrational waves that travel through the unseen field of reality. When you hold a pure, vivid thought charged with emotion for at least 17 seconds, that signal intensifies, as if the transmitter were tuned to broadcast at full power. In that instant, you stop being just someone with wishes and become someone who radiates commands to the universe. Joseph Murphy said that the subconscious responds to repetition, but especially to emotional intensity. This means it's not just what you think that matters, but what you feel while you're thinking it. If you imagine wealth but inwardly feel the fear of poverty, the message you send is contradictory. The universe doesn't register your words, but the vibration behind them. That's why so many people pray, affirm, and repeat positive phrases, yet see no results. They fail to sustain the correct emotion for the necessary amount of time. Now think about this. Have you ever held on to a memory so vividly that you felt the emotion all over again, as if you were reliving it? Perhaps a scene from your childhood, a past love, a moment of triumph. In those moments, you don't just think, you re-experience. And it is precisely this state that creates the magnetic field required for manifestation. If you can recreate that same power, but direct it toward what you desire, those 17 seconds become explosive. Science shows that in just a few seconds of intense focus, the brain releases electrical discharges that form new neural pathways. It's as if, in the blink of an eye, you are reprogramming your subconscious. The heart, in turn, emits an electromagnetic field hundreds of times stronger than the brain's. When the mind and heart are in sync, the universe receives the signal with crystal clarity. This combination explains the power of 17 seconds. You don't need hours of effort, you just need moments of clarity and profound emotion. Now for something even more surprising. It's not just about an isolated 17 seconds. When you sustain a thought for 17 seconds, it begins to attract other similar thoughts. It's like lighting a flame that immediately calls other flames to join it. If you hold that focus for another 17 seconds, the energy doubles. At 68 seconds, you've already created a vibrational field so intense that the universe has no choice but to respond. It's like shooting an arrow that cannot miss its target. But of course, here lies the challenge. How do you maintain that focus without letting doubt creep in? How do you prevent the anxiety of, "What if it doesn't happen?" from stealing your vibration? The answer lies in learning to turn imagination into experience. You shouldn't just think about what you want. You must feel as if it's already real. This means that during these seconds, you must immerse yourself in the scene of your fulfilled life. It's not about wishing. It's about living it in advance. Imagine you desire prosperity. Close your eyes and see yourself opening your bank statement, overflowing with abundance. Don't just visualize numbers. Feel the relief, the joy, the gratitude. Mentally touch the bills. Hear your own voice giving thanks. When you can feel the scene, time disappears, and the mind doesn't distinguish whether it's a memory or a creation. To the subconscious, it's all reality. And here's the point. If you can hold that for 17 seconds, the universe receives it. If you repeat it, the universe responds faster. And when you make this a habit, your life will inevitably reorganize itself to reflect this new pattern. So I ask you, What would you do if you were absolutely certain that by dedicating just 17 seconds a day, your reality could change? Would you allow yourself this small exercise? Or would you continue to live trapped in the routine of thinking about what you don't want, thereby reinforcing exactly what you wish to avoid? The truth is that most people spend more time feeding thoughts of fear than thoughts of faith. They concentrate for hours on problems, debts, illnesses, and failures. And the universe, being impartial, simply responds to what it receives. If you spend 17 seconds immersed in scarcity, you send that signal. And the return comes in the same measure. That's why so many remain stuck in the same cycle, not understanding that the way out is not external but internal. Joseph Murphy stated that the subconscious is like fertile soil. It doesn't argue, it doesn't judge, it doesn't ask if what you're planting is good or bad. It simply accepts and multiplies. What you sow in those 17 seconds becomes a root that grows silently until it emerges in your physical life. The question is, what have you been sowing? And here's a powerful revelation. You don't need to wait until you have unshakable faith to begin. You just need to be willing to hold an image for a few seconds, even if doubt still lingers around it. It's like lighting a candle in the darkness. It may seem small, but its light is enough to change the entire atmosphere. And the more you practice, the more natural it becomes. The brain learns, the heart responds, and soon those 17 seconds cease to be an effort and become a pleasure. You start to notice that life is responding. Signs appear, opportunities arise, synchronicities multiply. What once seemed like coincidence now reveals itself as a clear answer. But remember, the final revelation, the one that truly changes everything, is still to come. Because it's not enough to know about the power of 17 seconds. You need to understand how to use that power correctly so it doesn't get lost in the noise of the mind. And that is exactly what you will discover by the end. And before I go on, I want to extend an invitation. If you feel you need more in-depth guidance to apply this to your daily life, there is a resource in the first pinned comment that could be the key to accelerating your manifestations. Click and discover it, because it might be exactly what you've been asking the universe for all this time. Now prepare yourself, because what comes next will reveal why these 17 seconds, when used in the right way, don't just manifest desires, but transform entire destinies. So we arrive at the deepest point of this journey. By now you've understood that 17 seconds isn't just a time interval. It is a gap in the fabric of reality, a sacred space where your mind and heart can align to emit the exact frequency of what you wish to experience. But you might still be wondering, why exactly 17 seconds? What makes this number so special? It's simple, and at the same time, magnificent. Because 17 seconds is the time it takes for a thought to anchor itself, gain strength, and begin attracting other thoughts like it. It's the moment when the flame of your imagination ceases to be an isolated spark and becomes a vibrational fire. It's like turning a key in a lock. You don't need continuous force, just a precise movement at the right time. These 17 seconds are the movement that opens the door. And here is the most powerful revelation. When you sustain that focus and feeling, it's not just you sending a request to the universe. You become the universe itself, expressing itself through you. There is no separation. The desire that arises in your heart is not just yours. It is a higher calling, an expression of infinite intelligence itself, wanting to manifest through your life. Therefore, when you hold that desire clearly, intensely, and confidently, the answer comes, because its origin is already divine. Now look within yourself. How many times have you given up on your dreams because they seemed too difficult? How many times have you believed you needed years of effort, endless struggles, and countless trials? What if life wasn't a battle, but a dance? What if, instead of fighting against the current, you could learn to align yourself with the flow that already exists? These 17 seconds are exactly that. The point where you stop rowing upstream and allow the tide of abundance, love, and health to carry you. Joseph Murphy insisted that the subconscious is a faithful servant that never rests. It is always responding to what you impress upon it, whether consciously or not. When you repeat fears, it creates fears. When you cultivate hopes, it creates pathways. But when you hold an image charged with emotion for long enough, it has no choice. It transforms it into reality. It is inevitable. And perhaps you are now feeling a mix of hope and doubt. A voice inside you says, "What if this could actually work for me?" And that is the voice that matters. Because deep down, you know you've already experienced small miracles. You've thought of someone, and they called you. You've imagined something, and it happened the next day. You've felt in your heart that something was coming, and it did. These were the universe's subtle signs, showing you that it has always been listening. What you are going to learn to do from now on is to consciously intensify that power in a directed way. But there is one final key, and perhaps this is the most transformative of all. You don't have to wait. You don't have to postpone it. You don't need to be more prepared or solve all your problems first. The power of 17 seconds is available right here, right now. All you need to do is stop, close your eyes, choose a desire that pulses within you, and immerse yourself in it as if it were already real. Allow yourself to smile as you imagine it. Allow yourself to feel the warmth of anticipated gratitude. Allow yourself to live for a few seconds that which you have asked for so long. Do it now, not tomorrow, not when you have time. Now, because the universe only needs this moment of clarity. It only needs this space of silence and certainty. It only needs these 17 seconds to start moving invisible forces in your favor. And upon finishing this exercise, open your eyes and realize you are no longer the same person. Something has changed. The energy around you has shifted. The circumstances that seemed stuck have already begun to move. You don't need to see it yet, but you need to trust. So, in the coming days when doubt tries to return, remember, you don't need to convince the universe with long speeches. You just need to send the right signal, and that signal is your sustained vibration in these few seconds. And if this video has ignited something within you, if it has touched your heart and shown you that life can be so much more than you imagined, I ask you, leave your like and subscribe to the channel. By doing so, you show the universe and yourself that you are ready to walk this path of manifestation and awakening. And also, remember what I said. There is a resource in the first pinned comment that can expand this experience even further, showing you how to apply this in a practical and profound way. Click on it when you're done, because it could be the key that has been missing in your life. In the end, what you've discovered here is not just a technique, it's a way of living, a way of aligning with what has always been available to you. The 17 seconds are just the beginning. Because when you learn to live in this state of alignment, every thought, every emotion, every breath will become an answered prayer, a direct bridge between what you desire and what you experience. The universe is listening. It always has been. And now, you know how to speak its language. So, close your eyes, choose the purest desire that exists within you, and hold it. Because in just 17 seconds, the impossible begins to become inevitable.